Hi, this is Mr. Powell again with some tips on American geography. As you will have noticed by now, the American geography segment in European history is kind of a limited segment. We only have so much time before the end of the year, so I don't ask students to do all of American geography. What I do ask them to do is to memorize the states and their associated U.S. postal abbreviations. So today, what I want to explain is some techniques for remembering those postal abbreviations. So basically, there are, as I can tell, 4 rules for memorizing and remembering and thinking through what the postal abbreviations are for the various U.S. states. And the first rule, which actually is foolproof, is that if the state name consists of 2 words, such as North Carolina, then the postal abbreviation is just the first initial of each of those 2 words. NC. Rhode Island, RI. North Dakota, ND. So that one is absolutely foolproof, so you can know the postal abbreviation without any question whatsoever. However, most U.S. states, of course, have only 1 word in their name. So how do we determine the postal abbreviations? Well, for those states, there are 3 rules that you can count on. And so let's go over those kind of in order of importance. One very important rule is that it's often the case that a postal abbreviation is simply the first 2 letters of the name. So if we look at Massachusetts, for instance, we have M-A. If we look at Ohio, O-H. If we look at Indiana, I-N. So very common rule, simply the first and second letter. However, take a look, for instance, at Massachusetts and Maine. Both states have M-A as the first 2 letters, so obviously we can't use the same postal abbreviation, and as a result, there's another rule that applies. So, and that rule is first and last. So Maine, for instance, is M-E. Now, how did they decide that Massachusetts got M-A and Maine got M-E? I can't tell you. And it doesn't matter. It just is. So the rule is that whenever you know that one of them is first and second, well then you should probably apply the first and last for subsequent states that you're going to try and know the abbreviation to. So M-E is a good example. There are a lot of states. Louisiana, L-A. There are Georgia, G-A. So there are a lot of states. Virginia, V-A. There are a lot of states that have first and last as the U.S. postal abbreviation. And then there's one more rule, because even if you apply those other rules, there are going to be states where you simply can't use the other rules. And finally, so the 4th rule is for what I call first and prominent, or first and alternate. And that rule kicks in whenever it seems the other ones have already been exhausted. So, for instance, Minnesota, well, you have already got MI taken by Michigan, first and second. And then MA is also taken already, Massachusetts. So, what do? Well, that's where first and prominent kicks in. Notice that there are 2 N's in the word Minnesota, so MN. That's how I think of it. Texas, even though there's no TS or TE anywhere, for some reason they went with TX. Why? Because X is so prominent in the name of Texas. So you will find that that one is also a reliable one. Nevada, NV. Okay, so that's how it works. Here are the 4 rules once again. First initials of the 2 word states, first and second letters, first and last letters, and first and prominent, or first and alternate. So there you have it, some tricks for remembering and figuring out U.S. state postal abbreviations.